Here's today's First Word Daily Devotion.
We turn our attention on March the 23rd, all the way to Numbers chapter 25 and 26. And we're going to deal today mostly in the New Testament, since yesterday we didn't get to read the Sermon on the Mount from the Lord. But let's turn first to Numbers chapter 25 and 26. And again, we're going to notice some very provocative descriptors, and especially in chapter 25, and those provocative descriptors are there to demonstrate plainly that Israel belongs to God. They are His possession. They are in a covenant relationship with Him, much like the relationship of husband and wife. God is Israel's God, and His desire is to be their God and for them to be His people. And notice this as well. All of this happens, the people start going after Baal of Peor. They start going after other gods. They start intermingling their heart's affections with the gods of the nations, right after Balaam just gave them their prophecy. And remember that prophecy? He said that they did not declare themselves among the nations. Well, here they are, wanting to be already just like the rest of the nations. And so Balaam, he just gave the prophecy at the foot of the mountain. And now Israel is turning their hearts towards unfaithfulness. And notice the zeal here of this priest. The zeal of this priest comes, and he does this act here in verse 6. And notice in verse 8, the plague on the people of Israel was stopped. Now, what's all that about? Here's what I think it's about. The Bible always shows us that the source of trouble is the rebellion of people. The source of all the trouble in the world, whether it be storms or whether it be disease or whatever the case may be, all the trouble in the world is related to sin. All the trouble in the world is related to man's original rebellion. Do you remember what the Lord said in Genesis? It said that even the ground would be cursed because of our rebellion against the Lord. And so we have this here. This God is a jealous God. This God desires for us to be His. And then look at this. I want you to notice this too. In verse 59 of this next chapter of Numbers, let me point this out first. Let's go to 33. We have something rare here, and the rare is that we have daughters' names. Now, Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, had no sons, but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mela, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And so, in other words, we usually don't have the names of women mentioned, but here we have their names. And here's another name of a woman. Look at verse 59. The name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt. And she bore to Amram's Aaron and Moses and Miriam, their sister. And to Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And then here's a reminder to us, stuck in the narrative, lest we forget that the Lord is holy and He must be approached the right way. Nadab and Abihu died when they offered strange fire or unauthorized fire before the Lord. Now verse 65. For the Lord had said of them, they shall die in the wilderness. Not one of them was left except Jacob the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Now, let's turn to our New Testament reading today. Look at what happens here. Jesus heals a centurion's servant. Look at the people's declaration of the centurion to Jesus. They say in verse 4, He is worthy to have you do this for Him, for He loves our nation, and He is the one who built us our synagogue. Jesus went with them, and when He was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends, saying to Him, Lord, don't trouble yourself, for I am not worthy. This is what he thinks of himself. I am not worthy to have you come under my roof. Therefore I didn't presume to come to you, but say the word, and let my servant be healed. I too am a man sent under authority with soldiers under me, and I say to one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes. To my servant, Do this, and he does it. And when Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him, turning to the crowds, and followed him, saying, I tell you, not even in Israel have I found such faith. And so we find out here in this passage what it is that makes one worthy. And it's faith in the Son that makes someone worthy. But don't confuse, we're not talking about faith that makes someone worthy, so much as we're talking about the object of someone's faith that makes them worthy. And then Jesus, what's he say about John the Baptist? Speaking of being worthy, he says that that John is more than a prophet. And then he says in verse 28, I tell you, among those born of women, none is greater than John. And then here's the hope for us. Yet the one who is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he. And then he pronounces this woe upon those who were looking for false signs, those who did not have faith in the Son. He says, for John the Baptist has come eating no bread, drinking no wine, and you say he has a demon. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, look at him, a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. And then here's our key verse to close our time together. Wisdom is justified by all her children. What's worthy? What makes one worthy? Faith in the Son.